Hey, what's up? This is the man that you all know and love, EDIGGA. This is the first time, very first time, that I've decided to go off the radio and do TV. And I'm just excited right now because all day we've been talking about authors here in Baltimore, and I'm sitting with the beautiful, the talented Keisha Star.
Hey, hello world, how are you?
This is a first for me, Keisha, to do TV.
Yes.
I do radio.
Yeah.
You can check me out on Charm City Direct Radio Show every Sunday, 6 to 8 on MMBP Radio. Tune in, make sure you tune in. But I have here, right here, phenomenal author, songwriter, and singer.
Yes.
Born and raised in Baltimore.
Yes, I was born and raised here in Baltimore, but my entire family were born in Kingston, Jamaica. So I definitely welcome back my heritage and love it, so I always incorporate that in everything I do.
What area did you grow up in?
I actually grew up in Park Heights area of Baltimore.
Everybody is from the Park Heights area.
Born and raised in Park Heights, family still in Park Heights. We have family businesses still in Park Heights as well. We have Rollins, shout out 3602 West Rogers Avenue, Rollins Professional Cuts. And we had JBR Red Pearl. It was one of the first Jamaican restaurants in that area. It was the first Jamaican restaurant in the Park Heights area.
Interesting.
Yes.
Interesting. You also wear many hats that we was talking about briefly before we started.
Yes.
Talk about your singing and your songwriting.
Oh, okay.
Because you actually have a very interesting story if you want to share with
no problem.
LJ.
No problem. Actually, I was raised into family. I was born into a family with music. My parents had the first reggae band that was here in Baltimore. It was called the Determination Band. And they actually recorded out of Tough Going, which is Bob Marley's studio. And ever since I was like a wee baby, I would travel to Jamaica with them and then all over, the United States with them as they performed. And I just grasped that love for creativity and music. And at such a young age, I started writing music. And unfortunately, we had a family tragedy, which caused the band to separate. And I had death in the family and stuff like that. And as I got older, when I was like 17, 18, I started to I wanted to take their music and make my family that passed on. I wanted their legacy to live on. John, Barbara, and Rollins, JBR for life. And so from there, I started writing music. And when I went in the studio, I was just Keisha then. And after the CD came out, Keisha Star came. And I always loved music. I love singing music, but I always stuck to the writing part of that. So
you said Keisha Star.
Yes.
What prompted you to add on the star?
It's funny
because I love names.
No, the star, and people wouldn't even believe this. The star actually came as a joke. I was 300 pounds. And I lost a lot of weight. And then I lost my weight during the time Star Jones lost her weight. Okay. And so my cousin would often tease me, like, Keisha Star,
wow.
Keisha Star, imitate me that I was like Star Jones to him. And then, so when the music came out one day, they was interviewing me and he was there and he was like, Keisha Star, and it stuck. And from there on, it just stuck. I didn't put Star because of Star status. It actually went there because of a family joke. Shout out to Vaughn, one of my favorite cousins, who did that.
Wow.
Yes.
Tell the viewers what you was doing before you decided to be an author.
Before I decided to be an author, I was writing music and doing music. Actually, my CD was heard. I never sent it to Def Jam or anyone. I got a call, I was driving, and I was shocked. I actually hung up the phone on them the first time.
Stop, right?
Yeah, and they called, and I had a song called Sextasy on there.
Okay.
And
Sextasy.
yes, and they wanted to buy this song.
Okay.
And I was so elated. But when the contract came, basically I was getting nothing.
It was bogus.
It was bogus. I was getting nothing but monetary. You could say I was getting money. However, they wouldn't even give me, publishing, even writers' credits. So it was no way for nobody to know that this song, Keisha wrote it.
Okay.
And what my manager at the time told me, they was actually giving the song to Ashanti because she was under Murder Inc., who was under Def Jam.
Okay.
And she was hot at the time, so I really wanted it placed, but at the same time, it had to make sense to me.
Okay.
You know, I wasn't just going to give you a song. And I was at school for the most part before author. I had my master's in from Coppin State at University of Baltimore.
Okay.
Yes, in human services, emergent family counseling, and currently I'm taking my PhD program, multidisciplinary approach to human services and family counseling. So I've been in school. I still ghostwrite for a lot of people.
Okay.
And that's what I've been doing.
Okay.
Yeah.
When you say ghostwrite, is the money good? Are you getting any type of recognition?
Yeah, the money was so good that I became an entrepreneur off that. I was able to actually quit a job. And I have a motto, and I spoke at our graduation dinner, and I told my fellow classmates to always follow your dreams so you won't have to work for nobody that followed theirs. And I noticed that work was just hindering me.
Okay.
And I also have a business. I have Extraordinary Publishing, which is for the books. And I have Extraordinary Ghostwriters. And that's daily, I deal with students that may have problems doing their essays in school, and I do consultant work with them and help them to write their papers, and that has been a profitable business for me, along with writing.
Let's talk about, I'm going to be back and forth with the questions. There are a lot of heavy hitters out here in the book world.
Yes.
From Baltimore, actually.
Yes.
One in particular, Miss Chanel Serenita Williams.
Yes.
The author of Easily Enticed.
Shout out to Chanel.
Shout out to Chanel.
Yes.
What makes your book, Diaries of a Boss Chick, different from others?
What makes my book different from others is, if you go back to my first book, I was actually published with Nikki Turner, who is the queen of hip hop fiction. She did 50 Cent books. She did everybody books. A Hustler's Wife. I was publishing her book, and our book actually made the bestseller. One thing, if you Google that book and look at the reviews, you won't find one bad review on my story. My story was called Down to Be a Star, and everybody in the reviews always travel back to the ending, and that's what I try to do. I don't try to go on urban fiction because urban fiction is filled with drama, suspense, and just a lot of just things that's pertaining to the urban, like in the inner city.
Okay.
What I try to do is give a meaning or a message at the end that can get me an Oprah seat. You know, like it's almost like I'm from Park Heights. So I know this, and this is what I want to write about. However, it has to make sense, like I always say.
Okay.
Want to make it to Oprah. So I'm going to give you some type of, to make you kind of rethink the situation. And with this book, it doesn't end like how you think it's going to end, and it end with a twist. And that's what I always try to do. I don't want you to be able to guess that she's going to marry a drug dealer, and then he's going to get locked up, and then
So
she's going to
it's not your typical book. I love it because I love reading books like that, because just like you said, what you think may happen, it's not going to happen. You got to read deep into the book.
You have to read the book, and you get the excitement that you get with urban fiction. You get your different plots. You know, you always got to have some type of plot. So urban fiction, they always have a sex plot or something in there. So you throw that in there, but you don't want your book to be based on you just putting the ingredients, and you want it to make sense to people. So that's what I would think my book is about. I don't think I'm better than no other author at all, because there's so many great authors.
Yes.
So what I always try to do is network with them and just work with them. What set me out is that even with me, I started Extraordinary Publishing because I don't want to stay in the genre of urban fiction. I want to write children's books. I want to write a lot of other different types of books. And one thing that I've learned being around just my family alone and tragedy and other people is that some people's real story is more exciting than the urban fiction. And ultimately, that's where I'm going to take my publishing company to. I want to be the one that coined that I have books that are biographies, but they are so juicy you read them like urban fiction. So that's where I want to go with that.
Yeah, Chanel Serenita Williams, she was on my show.
Oh.
And just blowing up. It
Yes.
It's remarkable. And the best thing about this is Baltimore.
And me and her was in a movie together. We co-stars.
Stop playing.
Yes, we co-stars.
Small world.
Yes, A Hood Dreams. We co-stars.
A Hood Dreams. Yes.
We in that movie together.
Okay.
So yes.
Wow. Have you reached out to her?
Well, actually, when she was having her launch, I was out of town.
Okay.
And I did reach out to her. I told her I wish I could make it. And, you know, like, sent her the invite. I hope she can make mine. But if she ever need me for anything, or she ever want to collab on an anthology, I jump on that with her, too. Anytime. Like, any good authors, I work with anyone.
Because I'm writing a book as well.
You are.
Diaries of EDIGGA. No, I'm just playing. Now, tell me in your own words about the writer scene here in Baltimore. Do we have too many, or do we need more, and is it supported?
Let me say this. We have some dynamic writers here in Baltimore. Just the DMV area itself is rich with a lot of great authors. I've read some wonderful books, and then even at the book fest that we had over the summer, I went there and it was just an array of so many authors that were there. I feel that more people shouldn't just rush to write a book just to say they wrote one.
Yes. Yes.
And sometimes if you have a story to tell, you may not be an author. You should find one and ask them to write that for you. I think that, like, even with me, I get a lot of books sent to me. And if you don't grasp the audience in the first 4 chapters, because I don't need to read you, like when people send me books, I tell them to send me the first 4 chapters. If I don't get into your book,
It's a ball.
the first 4 chapters, then, you know, I don't want to hear at the end it's going to happen. You have to be able to do that. And sometimes everyone is not good with words. So sometimes just partner up with somebody. And like I said, I'm always willing to help with anything. But I do think that Baltimore really has some great authors. And, you know, like, just want to be able to support them, and they support me as well.
You probably already answered this. How long have you been writing?
I've been writing since, I know this is going to sound cliche, but I've been writing all my life since I got a beat, and for my first song that I wrote, I was 10 years old, and that love song, I could know the words. If I could take back the hands of time, baby, you know I would erase all the things I said, only if I could, because time has passed, but my feelings have not. I was 10, and my mom picked that up and was like, no, you won't. You know?
You got a beating for that.
Yeah, I did get a beat. I got a beat for that. And then I won, then even in school, in elementary school, I won a national poetry contest for kids, and I wrote about my mom, and I won that. And it's just like, I've always loved writing. And I'm the one that, even now, my family and friends will laugh about this. I still get Barbie dolls for Christmas. I have 70 Barbie dolls. And no, honestly, I do. And up until, I would say, in my adulthood years, not even adulthood, because I met my boyfriend when I was 32.
Okay.
I didn't want him to think I was crazy, so I didn't bring the Barbie dolls when we moved in, but
That wouldn't be...
I played with my Barbie dolls. I did. You would come in my room, and that would be my me time. I'd take out my dolls. And what my family and my friends didn't understand is that each doll had a plot. They had a scene. I knew who was sisters. I knew who was backstabbing who.
Okay.
Yes.
Not to cut you off. Before the 70, or we was just about the 70 dolls? Was it you had plots for each doll?
I had plots for each Barbie doll that I had. Like, I knew who was in the family, who was cousins, and what situation was going on. And at the time, I didn't know that was my creativity kicking in. A lot of people who people label as crazy usually are the most creative ones. Exactly. And what I did was able to take these plots and scenes that I was doing with my dolls and put it on book. You know, so that's what I did. But nobody never understood why I love Barbie dolls to this day.
I should have did that with Transformers.
Oh, no.
And Optimus was secretly involved with Megatron.
No.
I'm gonna get to that in a minute. But let's get back to the interview. Let's talk about your book and what people can expect by reading it.
The book is called Diary of a Boss Chick.
Yes.
But it has 2 different stories in there.
Okay.
It's my story, and it's a story of Monique Hall, who is my mentor, my everything. She's the CEO of Go Better Publishing.
Okay.
And my book is titled V Power. And it's about a young lady who just grew up. She was real slender, unpopular. She was an outcast. And the only person that noticed her was her rival. He was always the one teasing her. And ironically, she took some drastic measures to change her body. And that's who noticed her. And they got married. And he was the popular one. And so her life changed ever since that they got together. However, over the years, insecurities and his infidelities has caused some of her past demons to resurface. So this time she is taking all drastic measures to make sure that she don't lose anything because he's successful. You know, and she was in the background. And it's just a good book. Like, you're not going to believe how it ends. And in her quest, she learns something about herself, which V-Power, if you could read between the lines, she learned a lot about herself, and she has a new urge for life, a new appetite, and you know, she just want to make sure that she remains that boss chick. So that's what my book is about. And you can expect just a lot. You can expect just everyone will be able, I know people say this, but everyone will be able to relate. There's no biasness in this book. You know, we touch bases with homosexuality, we touch bases with infidelity, with everything, betrayal, things that's going on in real life. We touch bases with it.
Boss chick, the word, in your own definition, what do that mean to you?
And a boss chick is a go-getter.
Okay.
I always say it's a difference between winning and winging. You know, winning means that you have a set goal and you go out and you achieve that. Okay. Winging means that you jump on the bandwagon and you improvise through life, anything that comes your way. Okay. A boss chick knows what she wants out of life. She's not afraid to go out and do it, go out and get it. She don't need handouts, you know, and even if she falls, she gets right back up, brush it off, and keep going. And that's what a boss chick, and that's what I want represented in this book. For women to know that what boss chick don't means boss B. You know, like, people like to refer to themselves as B-I-T-C-H, and I use the word, but boss chick and boss bitch is two different words, two different meanings. And I wanted females to be able to distinguish that and to know there's other ways that you could be a boss chick and get that recognition that you need.
Now, let's talk about the release of your book.
Yes.
December the 7th.
The book is being released December 7th. That's a Saturday at Pt1. It's from 12 o'clock to 4 o'clock p.m. and we have some wonderful people coming down out of town.
That was my next question.
Yes.
Some big names as well.
Yes, we have Mama D from Pt1 Loving Hip Hop. We have Tashira Simmons, which is DMX's ex-wife, and she is just blowing up all over the place like right now. We also have Charlinda and Sabrina from Big Rich Atlanta. Charlinda is actually Q from 112's wife. And they have been nothing but supportive too. Like, once I took a trip to Atlanta, me and my boyfriend Ty Hill, shout out to my hubby. And it really, we were able to meet so many wonderful people. And even Monique, I have never met somebody that just welcome you with open arms and say, what do you need done for me to get you here? And even to Yandy from Love and Hip Hop, we were able to meet her. And you know, it is just a blessing.
That's incredible.
Yes. And so, and a whole bunch of other people, but it was just been a blessing.
So this is really going to be a huge event with your book.
I want it to be a huge event, but even if it's a small event, we're going to work it out. But I'm intended for it to be a huge, successful, fun night. I don't want people to think, okay, this is an event to sell books. This is a celebration. You know, I wrote a book already. I was able to be on a top sellers authors list, you know, but I never really went out there and put it out there like that. And I think I sat down on that. So with this book, I'm just going full-fledged and full force and just letting the world know, you know, I'm still here and I'm going to bring more to the table. I also have a book coming out with Nikki Turner, the queen of hip hop fiction, and that is actually my baby. The book that's coming out is called Jamaican Me Crazy.
Jamaican Me Crazy.
Yes, and Jamaican Me Crazy is a sick, insane book. So y'all can look out for that.
Okay, cool. Now, how do you prepare for writing for upcoming books? Take us through that process. Okay,
I have to mentally prepare myself sometimes. Even if it's just going, I need to go out into the public, socialize.